Chicago City proclamation has changed the iconic Groundhog Day to Harold Ramis Day to honor director of Bill Murray's 1993 comedy. Groundhog Day cast reunited at Chicago City after 31 years since the film's release. Although it's hard to believe, Bill Murray's iconic comedy Groundhog Day completed 31 years in February 2024. To turn this year's Groundhog Day into a special occasion, the entire cast of the 1993 comedy movie reunited in Chicago City. Meanwhile, as per city proclamation, February 2 will now be called and celebrated as Harold Ramis Day in Chicago. It seems like yesterday that Bill Murray was out, covering the annual emergence of the groundhog from its hole, just like he did in his 1993 comedy, Groundhog Day, thus sending people into a Groundhog Day loop. The entire cast of the movie reunited on February 2, after decades since the release of the film. Members of the cast reunited for the first time, marking 31 years since the film was released. Appearing together at Navy Pier, the cast honored the 1993 movie's director Harold Ramis and commemorated 10 years since his death. Further, Chicago City proclamation changed the iconic Groundhog Day to Harold Ramis Day. Groundhog Day cast reunite after 31 years. Although it's hard to believe, Bill Murray's iconic comedy Groundhog Day completed 31 years in February 2024. Making the audiences laugh, the film not only popularized the Groundhog Day celebration from the 1880s, but also turned Woodstock Willie and Punxsutawney Phil into stars. Just a side info, Willie and Phil are the well-known large rodent/winter forecasters who reside in the same village where the cult classic movie was filmed. Every year on February 2, Woodstock Willie and Punxsutawney Phil make their winter predictions. This year, as Woodstock Willie didn't see his shadow, they predicted early spring, which is a matter to wait for. Meanwhile, this year's Groundhog Day was rather special for the entire cast of the 1993 comedy movie reunited in Chicago City to celebrate the occasion. On February 2, Groundhog Day, for the first ever, the 1993 cult classic film's cast reunited at Navy Pier at Harry Caray's Tavern. The event witnessed Bill Murray, Brian Doyle Murray, Stephen Tobolowsky, Marita Giratti, and other castmates celebrate the occasion and honor their movie's director and co-writer Harold Ramis. Chicago City honored director Harold Ramis. Groundhog Day 2024 became an auspicious event after Bill Murray and his castmates reunited in Chicago City to celebrate 31 years of their film and honor their movie's director Harold Ramis. Commemorating 10 years since Ramis' death, the 1993 comedy movie's cast witnessed a significant proclamation from the city leaders. According to ABC 7 Chicago, since Harold Ramis was a Chicago native and also a partner in Harry Caray's Navy Pier, the city leaders decided to make an official declaration. Witnessing the cast reunion, the leaders officially declared that February 2 from now onwards will be called and celebrated as Harold Ramis Day in Chicago. It's good to get something official from the city. Sometimes you get a break on parking tickets. We'll see what happens, Bill Murray said. The cast members of Groundhog Day were also joined by Harold Ramis' widow, Erica Mann Ramis, on the auspicious day. She claimed that the occasion has always been her favorite, and now it has become more special after the city proclamation turned it into Harold Ramis Day. Groundhog Day is available for rent on Apple TV.